Please. Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable. 1 Million by 1 Million, as you know, is an initiative, a global initiative to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. And if we succeed in doing this by 2020, we will have created $1 trillion in global GDP and just about 10 million jobs. So we need all the help in the world, and especially we need all of you guys who are in the audience, who are either entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs, to produce at least $1 million worth of revenues. Today is May 5th, and we are doing this strategy roundtable programming for over 2 years. We've done over 80 roundtables. More than 5,000 people have attended, and over 300 entrepreneurs have been coached in these sessions. So it's a fairly mature, well-known session at this point program. So we would appreciate all your help in getting the word out there that this programming exists, the 1 Million by 1 Million program exists, and that we would love to have more entrepreneurs participate. Today we are also working with Microsoft's BizSpark India Startup Grant Program. So those of you who are presenting from India or are listening from India, there is a grant program open right now. You can apply for this grant in 2 categories, in mobile and cloud. And the first prize in each category is $40,000, and the second prize is $10,000. And remember, it's a grant. It's not debt. It's not equity. It's a grant. So it's a very, very attractive, incentive. The roundtable is being recorded, and it will be made available to you after the show. So as you're working with me, if you miss something and if you want to replay the recording and listen to it, you will have a chance to do that. And for those of you who are tweeting the show, please use the hashtag 1M1M. And we very much encourage you to tweet during the show and, converse with the outside universe as well and draw people into the program. Sumit, you are the first presenter. If you could please unmute your line and come and tell us what is EduMark. What are you doing with EduMark?
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Sramana, this is Sumit from Delhi, India.
Good morning.
And I'm representing EduMark Reality Education Services. This is India's first vocational education and training provider in real estate space. There is total absence of education in real estate sector in India, and that's what we plan to initiate. Can you move to next slide, please? Mm-hmm. Now, talking about the pain points, I'm coming directly to the pain points in real estate sector. And it is the total absence of real estate education. Now, to grow any sector requires learning and development, and that is missing in Indian context, in real estate context. Specific problems are faced by real estate employers who do not have any employable human resource because there is no system of education at all. They hire fresh candidates. They put a lot of time and efforts or money on training, and by the time they are trained, they leave the company, they move to other company. So attrition rate is also high. Cost on training is very high. Industry is currently facing worst manpower crisis. Now the problem with the fresh candidate is that even though this industry is facing manpower crisis, they do not have any job because they do not have employable skills. Mm-hmm. There are people who are interested only to work in real estate sector, but in the absence of any skill, development opportunity, they are unable to do so. Third, the major stakeholders who are facing this problem is real estate professionals and entrepreneurs. Those who are working in real estate development companies or brokerage houses, they do not have any avenue to upgrade their skill or knowledge in their working, in the profession in which they are working, whether it is leasing or development or investment like this. Similarly, those who want to start a fresh real estate business, they do not have any guiding system or mechanism wherefrom they can get complete mentoring system to start the program.
Okay.
So we took this initiative of vocational education and training program in real estate, and we have launched 3 categories of programs. The first is employment-oriented programs, wherein we take fresh candidates, we train them, and then we place them in different companies. So this is completely employment-oriented program. Other is professional development for those who are already working in real estate sector. And third one is for those who want to start property consulting or brokerage business. And we are offering programs from 1 day to 3 months. Mm-hmm. Like for property brokerage, it is 2 months program. For professional development, we are organizing 2-day training program on real estate investment. Whereas for placements, we have a 3-month diploma in property sales and transaction. Mm-hmm. Now, I've given below some example of the courses that we are running and the course fee that we are charging.
Okay. And what level are you at right now in terms of how many customers do you have? What kind of revenues are you doing?
The first batch is of 10 students, all paid students. I got 1.5 lakh INR for the first batch. They have completed their course today itself, and all of them have been placed today itself. I mean, today was the last batch, and we distributed the appointment letters also.
Okay.
Right, and I'm targeting in case of like employment related programs, the 3 months job oriented programs, I'm targeting students who have done class 12, graduation or professional courses related to sales and marketing, and those who are looking for jobs. So I'm targeting people between 18 to 27, 12, graduation or professional courses looking for jobs. The second category I'm targeting is professionals working in other sectors who are planning to enter into real estate. Third is real estate professionals who want to upgrade their knowledge. And fourth is those who want to start their property brokerage business. These are the 4 categories of people whom we are targeting. Now, we have started this institute in January this year. And since then, we are going for both online and offline activities, promotional activities. In online, we are doing all sorts of activities like AdWords, social networking, academic and professional participation in academic and professional forums, putting articles, blogs, emails, etc.
The 10 candidates that were in your first batch, where did you get them from? How did they learn about you?
They got from online promotion.
Do you know which?
We approached.
Which of the online channels?
Hello.
Which of the online channels?
We had tied up with magicbrick.com, 99acres.com. We took data of their members and we sent emails to them. MagicBrick is a real estate portal in India. Mm-hmm. Similarly, is 99 acres.
Kind of people that you're looking for, other than the working professionals, are these guys hanging out in real estate portals, do you think?
No. Absolutely not. But then in that case, we have also gone for this professional forums and academic forums. Like there is indiastudycircle.com. There we put a lot of this news about our courses. Then we went for this shiksha.com. So there also. So we are doing in case of all such platforms. We are using all such platforms. And if you can see, in case of offline mechanism, we got excellent coverage in editorial coverage in all the leading newspapers, whether it is Times of India, Hindu, Statesman, Pioneer, everywhere we got coverage, since ours was the first course in India.
Okay.
So now I'm getting currently, till date I got 1,000 inquiries through editorial coverage also.
Okay. So now, from 1,000 you can now fill up the next courses, yes?
I've already filled. I've already booked 15 candidates for the batch. I'm starting on 2nd June.
Okay.
So I've already admitted. Admission, in fact, is already closed for this next batch. But the problem that I'm facing is I'm working though I'm being assisted by a few people whom I have hired, but they are not up to that level so that they can manage the programs independently. On the other hand, there are people who are experienced in real estate. They are assisting me from outside as a consultant. They are helping me in taking classes as well as in promoting the program. So my one problem is developing a team, and other is a conditional early mover advantage. Means this is the first such course in India, but then there are many institutes who would come up in next 6 months. So I have to scale up very fast in order to encash this early mover advantage.
How big do you think is the market?
Yeah, sorry.
How big is the market for real estate training?
The current requirement, I have confirmed current requirement is 200. I mean, I have already tied up with 5 companies for their candidates. Their requirement is total 1,000, of which I have accepted only 200.
No, I
now,
understand.
There are 25 more.
No. The question I'm asking is how big is the opportunity from a total available market point of view?
You want me to quantify this?
Yeah, because I mean, I can't tell you whether this is fundable or not without knowing what is the size of the market opportunity. Because
yeah. So we analyze and the total, in fact.
Sumit, the answer to your question is this is not ready for any kind of financing unless you can present a compelling, investment thesis. And the investment thesis includes stuff like, market analysis and so on and so forth.
Right. And how to develop a team like a cost-effective method?
Do you know people who are in your industry who can carry the kind of load that you're thinking about?
Who can?
Do you know people
you said who?
In the industry who can carry the kind of load that you would like them to carry?
Yes, there are people. Definitely there are people.
And can you bring some of them on as co-founders?
Yes, as the co-founders, I can probably bring them. I can definitely bring them as a co-founder because I had not on this line.
That would be the way to bring in the early team.
Okay. And so I'm not yet ready for any kind of funding. In fact, angel fund.
I mean, right now you've got some validation. I think the good news is that you've got some validation. But you need to package this up into an investment thesis, and that requires a full analysis of what is the size of the market opportunity, what is the go-to-market strategy to tap into the market opportunity, and so on and so forth. So, So now it looks like you need training in how to do that. And for that, it's difficult for me to have to move on to the next presenter anyway. For that, I'm going to point you to the 1 million by 1 million premium program. So if you stand by, I'm going to talk about that later on in the show.
Sure. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Thank you.
Sumit, if you could go on mute, and Rahul, if you could please come online.
Yeah, thank you.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Rahul.
I'm in. Hello, how are you?
Tell us what you've got.
Right. But I never thought my picture is going to be used like that.
No?
Okay. I'm Rahul Sethi. I'm the founder and president of Business Intelligence. This is a initiative. This is kind of one of the first initiatives in India. Somebody who's trying to do business intelligence on a SaaS model within the outsourcing factory that has been built over the last 20 years in India. We've got 2 solutions that we're offering to the clients. One is the call center integration with social media. Another one is a CSP performance management software. CSP is customer service provider. Anybody who is handling outsourcing services for their clients is CSP. So the background of the call center industry is that we've got approximately about 800,000 people in India who are presently in the call center BPO space. And over the last couple of years, I guess about 5 years, we've seen a lot of market segmentation around service delivery within the outsourcing sphere, such as today we're looking at many LPOs coming up, BPOs, KPOs, and so on and so forth. It's becoming more specialized. And with the specialization which is walking in, the global clients today are very confused. One, they have got many other options, such as Philippines and Southern American region for outsourcing. They also have key specialized teams that they need in the long run to kind of kind of grow their market base, customer base, and so on and so forth. Therefore, what I feel is that the contact center, and when I say contact center, I mean to say outsourcing center. Outsourcing center today is not utilizing the power of social media. We are also not having just a candid observation here that today the outsourcing service provider is not even looking at doing a video marketing or a video support, such as creating video logs, for in order to make sure that their clients can be pushed these kind of videos in order to solve the problems, and therefore one such thing that we have been able to create is that we have tried very hard to integrate most of the social media portals that are available today, and we can give analytic support on that on our BI, using any kind of external social media tool. Number two, from a performance management perspective, where we are coming from is something called a QCA, and we're utilizing the QCA rule within our software. QCA means data that can be collected, that is integrated, that is knowledgeable, and fairly accurate, to take actions. The QCA is a term that is being used in the quality. So what we're offering is that we've got this QCA rule that we applied on the data that we collect from the client, and therefore, as soon as the client puts their processed data, that means the raw data, within our software, we're able to give them very rapidly almost 60% of their major reporting requirement as immediate as a week. And then we work with them on creating the extensive or extension of the further scorecards that they want within their center. And this includes, definitely this includes the dashboards that we present to the clients. This also includes providing the same information on mobile, providing the same information on various extranets for the client's access. And going forward, we also want to do something in the statistical space, whereas things like Six Sigma, where companies do spend a lot of money in training people, and then eventually over a period of time, they see the knowledge goes out with people leaving, as well as the processes also rapidly change. And so this could be a part of the BI software that we give. Therefore, the client actually will have all their knowledge within the system, and that they will continue to utilize one standard scheme of software, scheme of a system that can continuously feed them with the relevant information. This is like a 50,000 feet view.
So what kind of validation have you done so far in terms, do you have any call center that wants to work with you?
Yes, we are presently doing 4 to 5 pilots. We've received some very good feedback on the work that we've done. Along with that, we are also the Microsoft Azure partners, and with that, with the first few in India, and Microsoft Azure just got started, religiously kind of making partners and building their solutions on cloud. So there's a lot of interest when we say to the clients that we could actually have the BI on cloud, on a SaaS model at the end of the day from billing standpoint, and that has created a lot of interest. We've got 3 outsourcing centers in Pune, 1 in Delhi, and 1 in Mumbai that we're working.
And can you pinpoint precisely what problem they're trying to solve? In those 5 engagement, what specifically? Because the space you're going into is quite crowded, right? And it's you haven't talked at all about comparative analysis. And regardless of whether there is any company out of India, there are a number of SaaS providers into the contact center, customer support, and BI in the context of customer support space. So, so I would like to see a comparative analysis of the international portfolio, not just specific to India. It could be something that you could offer at a different price point because of your India situation. But I would still like to understand what specifically is it that you're doing? What problem are you really solving?
Okay, so I'll answer the first and the third part of your question. You've got from a comparative standpoint. First of all, there are many companies who do business intelligence, and there are many companies who do business intelligence on SaaS model. Most of these companies are tier 1 companies, like Hyperion, Cognos from IBM, and so on and so forth. Their solutions for the customer support CSPs are very costly. They do business intelligence as a whole, and one such of their practice is the customer support BI practice. Business intelligence, therefore, is the only company that is 100% focused on the CSP development around BI, number one.
I think that is, I don't agree with that, Rahul. I think there are actually SaaS BI companies that are going after more of the mid-market space. I think my assessment is your comparative research is incomplete.
I take that feedback. I will work on that. I also feel that as far as the customer support BI is concerned, the requirement of the CSP today is that they have over the last couple of years, they have built legacy systems within their centers that have now got a team of IT people supporting it.
Yeah.
And it is costing them a lot of money because their integration with the in-house systems is not possible with the kind of technology they chose 3 to 4 to 5 years back.
Yeah.
Today there is a requirement for an advanced tool that can sit on top of the existing hardware, the existing dialers and whatever legacy software that they're using. Therefore, the dependency around the reporting, extended reporting, statistical analysis, or for that matter, just analysis, is not available. We are working on a solution more than a product. Product is definitely there. We then further work on building that solution on a daily basis. We continue to add value by creating more and more different kinds of analysis. Just a very small short one-liner, that when the quality in the call center, when the quality in the customer support space goes down around the customer satisfaction goes down, it just does not depend on one reason. There are many reasons around that. So there's no company that I would kind of comment on, but I guess what we are doing is that we are working with the functional consultants who are from the contact center space, who worked for the last couple of years with them, and we are asking them questions. Okay, if this thing doesn't work, what is that you would look at? If this thing doesn't work, what is that you would look at? And based on that, we're creating a solution.
Okay, got it. So here's what I'm hearing you say, and I think that's the answer actually. Therein is your answer to your first question: is how do you build this company with limited capital and self-funded? So you have identified 5 call center companies that have legacy systems which are kind of unwieldy and they're having difficulty managing them, and you are working on moving that to some sort of a manageable, product plus services solution to that problem, so that they don't have to maintain this large IT organizations in-house to manage legacy systems. And on top of that, you're providing value-added services. Now, this being your offering, and you're providing that in a SaaS model and all these contemporary cutting-edge architecture and so forth, all this is great. So this is actually a very reasonable value proposition to a very reasonable customer segment. The call center market in India is quite large. You could be selling this particular value proposition to a lot of different call centers. Now the question is, are these call centers willing to pay you? How much are they willing to pay you? And you kind of need to negotiate that these deals, business deals, so that those customer deals basically finance your company?
Yes, my request was to understand today from you that when we reach out to the contact center, it's amazing that when you reach out to a customer, every customer in the world says, hey, you know what, I'm not ready to spend money right now. It's amazing every time it happens. In any business, every customer says that, I want to save. And therefore, what we are trying to do is that we want to reach out to the contact centers who really want to, in the long run, want to utilize this concept to creating a center of excellence around reporting, analysis, analytics. And that analytics that they come out with must be a sellable analytics for their clients further. And step one, we can learn that. But the step two, where that information becomes sellable, I'm sorry, just complete that quickly, where the information that comes out of our tool becomes a sellable proposition for our client, is only possible when the contact center will all open hands, and he'll basically welcome us and show us, the way the forward-going strategy could be.
So in every business, there are some customers that are early adopters versus others. So anytime you're trying to do something new and something slightly different, you're going to have to find those early adopter customers who are willing to pay. You can't build this business unless you can find customers who are willing to pay. No business can be built unless there are some customers who are willing to pay. And you're right, you need a value proposition. Now, I will say one thing, that all these social media stuff that you're talking about, that may not be the right value proposition against which to sell this, because most of the companies for whom these contact centers are working, these call centers are working, have bought all sorts of social media analytics solutions in their respective organizations in the US, because a lot of the Indian companies are working as back offices of the US companies. The business analytics, social media business analytics space is quite hot. So you can't compete with that. You're going to have to come up with a value proposition that is specific to the contact center itself, and not something that the customer of the contact center has already taken care of, and you're not really providing any value proposition. I think that's one of the fallacies in the way you've presented today. If that is the value proposition you're trying to sell to the contact centers, they will not resonate with your value proposition, because that is not their problem. Like, for instance, contact centers that are, customers of contact centers that are using right now already has social media products attached to them. So it depends on what is their internal system, what contact center management system are they on. You need to understand the whole IT solution infrastructure of that company to understand where exactly do you position. As it stands, you have as you said, it's a kind of like a 50,000 feet level positioning, and that is not sufficient to bring this product to market and to actually make sales happen.
All right.
So what I'd like to see you do is zero in a lot more on precisely what the problem is that you're trying to solve, that is something that a contact center is willing to pay money for. And it could very well be. So my guidance would be, go explore what are those legacy systems that these contact centers are maintaining internally, and see if you can move those legacy systems out to a professional independent software vendor kind of situation, and you could use all your cutting edge technology from Azure to SaaS to all of this architectural nuances to architect those, but try to understand where those opportunities are, where contact centers are investing money. Okay?
Yes, I would just like to put the last line in context today, that the selling of the analytics around social media is definitely a part of the program. But like you said, the most of 80% of our focus is to convert the legacy systems, the initially developed systems, change them to creating some incredible dashboards. Actually, you could see on a website, I've put in some very live dashboards after the call if you've got some time. And
but remember, the way you started this presentation, Rahul, is with that social media pitch. If it's 20% of the story, you shouldn't be pitching that way. I would argue, my hunch is that is not even going to be 20% of your story. It is going to be no percent of your story.
I guess because it's the number one on the presentation, but I won't argue with you.
It shouldn't be number one. A secondary value proposition should never be number one. Right?
I guess I'll see more of what you're doing, and then I guess I'll learn how to this pitch, because this has been an interesting session for me, and I take all your feedback very positively.
Yeah, so this is all constructive. I'm not trying to make you feel bad. I'm trying to give you feedback which is going to help you improve your presentation.
Yes, I guess I thank you, and I look forward. One of the other things that I wanted to ask you is around the performance management within the contact center space. Since you're very connected around the investment fraternity, they have got a lot of contact center links around. Is there a way by which we can get associated with 1M by 1M more closely and see if we can really network with these kind of guys who have outsourced? Either they are the guys who outsourced their own captive centers, or they're working in the third-party CSP kind of environment, and we can get some exposure by kind of giving.
So whatever, if you join 1 million by 1 million premium, I will connect as many dots as possible. That's the. Why don't you hold that question? I'm going to talk about the 1 million by 1 million premium program a little bit later as I finish the working with the pitches, and then we'll go over. I'll take all questions related to 1 million by 1 million premium after I'm done with the presentations. Okay?
All right, thank you.
You're very welcome. All right. The next presenter is Abhinasha. 10 screens. Can you please unmute your line and tell us what you got, Abhinash?
Hello, everybody. Am I audible?
Yes, you're perfectly audible.
Okay, let me start. We started 10 screens, and the original parent company is the Visual Switch Technologies Limited, and 10 screens is one of the products. So why we started 10 screens? Because we see most of the software projects, they discover lots of bugs during the user acceptance test, which is the UAT test. And one of the biggest factor to this is the business IT communication gap. That leads to all these gaps and all this basically, this is what I wanted, but you gave me this, and all these kind of conflicts. And how it is solved currently, the business analysts, they produce screen wireframes like your Balsamic and iRise, all kind of products. Then business flow diagrams, which are like lovely charts, video diagrams, Word documents or business rules, which are like use cases and UML diagrams, and distribute them using emails and other mediums, offline mediums, putting it in the LAN. And after this happens, the business managers go through these fragmented pieces of information and create a mental model to visualize the finished product. And they sign up that, oh, this is what I want, okay, let me sign up. This is where the gap comes and later results in a lot of bugs in the user acceptance test. At 10 screens, we bring these fragmented pieces all together and provide an integrated experience to test drive the business requirements before it's developed. So take a case, you see a prototype or user registration screen in 10 screens, and you click it, register. Then it is going to take you from here to the registration flow, which could have 2-3 exit points, and you said it's a successful registration. So you click that endpoint of that flow diagram, and it will take you to the welcome screen. It's not a vanilla. Whenever you say okay, always you end up in the welcome screen. So next is the how do we basically, I mean, who all can use it? This is where we really kind of like stumble to choose one only. So the sales people can use it to showcase the expertise, and they can also use it to basically take the customer feedback, and accordingly just there itself they can put the logo there, add 2-3 new fields to the screen, capture their business requirements, and so okay, so how it's going to look like. So sales people can do it. Very, very personalized piece they can do. Second is the business people, the testers, the architects, and end users. They can create these test drives before for the business completeness, and that will reduce the number of escalations during the UAT stage. And third is this: all the startup guys, they can actually, before even they jump and start coding their idea, they can do it in the 10 screens very, very fast within a week, and engage many people to test drive their idea. And the fourth one will look like people can, let's say I want to download a game in the App Store. Before I download, I can test drive that application using the 10 screens, which doesn't need your mobile or simulators or all kind of hassles of installation. And from there, I can test drive and can then, if I want, I download and take it forward, rather than experiencing it just with vanilla photos and videos.
Avinash,
We have taken it.
Hold on. I think I am definitely lost, and I'm pretty sure the audience is lost as well. What are we trying to do here?
Yes.
Are we trying to capture specs?
It is capturing the business requirements or a business idea.
Capturing the business requirements for a development house.
For a development house, yes, software development.
Okay.
It could be go ahead, please.
So if I'm running a software development house, and I'm talking to my client services executives, my business analysts who are capturing the specs would be using this product. Yes?
Exactly. And it could be the other side also, because most of the cases the business analysts are actually in the vendor side, not the vendor side, actually the client side. So they say the vendor what needs to be done. Like during the RFP stage, most of the time the business requirement document comes. So they have already started the work before it comes to the development stage. Okay,
but who have you talked to in the process of validation? What have you talked to business analysts on either side, on the vendor side or on the client side?
Yeah. So we did actually 2-3 things. I went ahead and put it in the LinkedIn different groups, business analyst groups. These are kind of ideas, and I try to see that what kind of response comes there. So there is a positive response when we say that you can show your screen and then once click the backend, the business flow all together at the same space. So that really they liked. The result of that is yesterday we got around 170 visitors to our site, and today we have around 66 or 67 registered users.
Okay.
But when we started taking it and started selling it to the IT firm of 1 to 100 user base, which are like small, there itself we got the problem, because they don't have a well-defined role of business analyst. They have something like developers role, and developers, they have already the habit of doing it in the HTML, so they continue doing that. So there itself, though initially when we did our market research, spoke to our friends, they said, yes, this is a great tool, and we gave them the test a trial version, but we didn't see that adoption by the developers. So there is a very big issue with across that.
That means you have the wrong segmentation. The 0 to 100 employee companies where the role of the business analyst does not exist is not your target segment. You need companies that do have business analysts.
Exactly. So that's a very late realization, and that's what we came across actually.
So
yes.
Immediately you need to go find 10 companies that have business analysts and validate this with those 10 companies and their business analysts.
Exactly. And that's basically lead to my second question, is that currently using the way people are registering, whom we don't know, who are not in our network, but how do we go and validate? Because there is one plan which we have is the free and the premium. So the free plan, that has like, okay, you can create one project for free, but the premium plan, you have to take it for your company, which will allow you to create 10 or 20 or 100 projects, or even like 100,000 projects.
Yeah.
So the whole problem is, how do we go from now and talk to those people? Should we go and talk to the software service provider, or should we go and talk to the that is actually from the employee base of 500 to 1 lakh? Or should we go and talk to the other side, which is the software consumers who have the pain of really receiving the software? Yeah.
You should talk to the service provider companies, because the people who get into trouble when a project is rejected are the service providers. So even if the client is giving them specs in a format that, in whatever format, the service provider still needs mechanisms to make sure that the specs are done in a way that testing and project acceptance probability is high.
Okay.
Okay, so this thing, and there are, you can talk to there's a role in the Indian service, all service provider companies called the VP of delivery or head of delivery, or delivery head kind of roles. You should go talk to a bunch of those guys, and I know several of those people. I can connect you to some of them.
Oh, that would be wonderful, actually, because what we are keep on thinking, this is a versatile product, and how do we position? Should we position this side, or should we position it as actually the other side, saying that you first perfect it and then give it for the offshoring, or should we go and take it and say, okay, let's take it to the app store? So we are kind of struggling to position it. So that's where the whole question actually.
No, I know exactly how to position it. If you have, I don't know how good your product is, but I think if I understood you right, I think the positioning of this product is not that complicated. I can teach you exactly how to position this. All right.
Oh wow, that is wonderful. I love to.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. I just want to tell actually how is the product quality. In fact, we are also the backend actually, which we have developed. We are at the India Hadoop Forum. If you know the Hadoop, which is a very big software used by many companies. So we are actually the speaker there, because we are the contributor of Edge Search, which is like search in the commodity class hardware. That is the BJOS's open source product. So it is all based on that. So we have kind of taken 1.5 years to really build a product which is not going to break tomorrow, because we know once we throw it to the
it's not a question of breaking. It's a question of usability and whether this product is functionally sound. Anyway, we need to take this conversation offline. But
yeah,
I now understand what you're trying to do. There are lots of gaps in your positioning. There's a lot of gaps in how you bring this to market. But I pretty much know how to solve this problem.
Oh wow! Thank you so much. And there we need the help actually, because we are all the architects and that kind of background.
The pitch you're making is impossible to sell with, by the way. This pitch is very difficult to understand. So you got to clean up your pitch big time. Okay, we're gonna take this offline. Next presenter, please. Can you go on unmute? Avinash, go on mute.
How can I reach you offline?
I'm going to talk about that. Hold on. Stay put. Let me finish the presentations, and I'm going to talk about the premium program. Anirudh.
Thank you for listening. And
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Anirudh,
Hi, Sramana.
Please unmute yourself and tell us what you've got.
Right, sure. So education is the emerging marketplace in India, and it's an industry that's undergoing serious transformation. And India College Search is a platform. Basically, it's a platform to connect students and colleges. So these are just some of the stats that you can go through. 97% of students in India, like I said, don't get into the college they aim for. There are a lot of entrance exams that focus on the IITs and the IIMs, but there's a 1% selection rate, so they end up going to colleges that they haven't prepared to go to. So what we're trying to do is give them a research tool. What we offer is a customized search solution. So whether it's location that a student's interested in, something close to home, or specific courses like automobile or aeronautical that are not offered that much, or whether it's acceptance rate, fees, different placements of different colleges, we're giving students the opportunity to kind of choose what parameters are important to them, rather than just a ranking, and then sort and view colleges by that. Now, colleges on the other hand have a hard time marketing. So what we're giving them is a complete marketing solution. There is an increasing demand for their courses. There are seats being added every year, and there are new colleges opening up, but the older ones are finding really hard to fill up their seats. So there's also a paradox there that they're not able to differentiate enough. So what we're giving them is something that allows them to see the trends in the industry, see what students they need to target, and then reach out at a time when a student is actively looking for a college and will be very receptive to not exactly an ad, but a kind of featured listing when they're actively searching in that particular state or for those particular courses. So okay, so moving on, the kind of things that I wanted to focus on considering your expertise. So the first thing is the positioning and differentiation. The channels, I won't go into a lot of detail, informal and offline, because there's a lot of stuff, there's a lot of ranking sources, and family and friends contribute a lot. Online, the marketplace has basically been divided into either classifieds portals that allow colleges to come in and just prepare a listing of themselves where, each one proclaims themselves to be the best. And the others are the social media for students, basically social networks for students to connect with each other, share their experiences and that kind of stuff. So there's not a lot of data in here, especially the in-depth data about the faculty, the infrastructure of the colleges that are not in the top 10 or 15. We're talking about 3,000 engineering colleges, for example, and only 50 or 100 have been, really researched by the media, the mainstream media, in terms of what placements they offer, what courses they offer, and what their faculty is like. So we're trying to give this kind of data about every college. So that differentiation comes in terms of first the search. Different parameters you can mix and match and kind of personalize the search to what you want. Second is the results. So we have a unique algorithm that's copyrighted, and basically it gives you the best institutes first by quality as well as by popularity. So it's not a ranking per se, but it's basically relevance. The next is the data. You can sort your results by cutoffs. If you're you want to see which ones you can get into, you can sort by placements and all those kinds of things. And the last thing is the ability to compare between different colleges. If you like one college, find similar tools and that kind of thing. So basically, in a nutshell, for students it's a complete research platform. For colleges, a means of reaching out more effectively. So next slide, please. Okay, so the customer, the first thing, we're not planning to monetize through students. We're planning to sell only to colleges because students in India is not a market that's easily monetizable. A, with credit cards, and B, their paying capacity. It's not possible to charge 100 rupees or something from every student. So colleges are really willing to pay for every seat that they fill. It's hundreds of thousands of dollars earned for them, so they're really willing to pay on this. They have lots of seats going empty, and also they want to build up a brand. There are colleges that are considered frauds, but they just want people to view their profile and see what companies have recruited through them. That enhances their image. So they're just willing to pay for people to, learn more about them. Our pricing is based primarily on three different things. One is, where the college wants to appear, whether it's for a branding purpose or they just want to, land up in the students' radars. The next is the features that they want, ability to upload more documents and, their prospectus, those kind of things, extended profiles. And also, whether they want to appear in the results for a particular state, for a particular region, or they want to target students nationwide. And the last is, of course, an analytics tool that lets them compare, their positioning vis-a-vis their competitors, and also, how popular they are vis-a-vis their competitors, and how they should go about targeting things, and using the trends that are there in the students' interests and the courses they want to do. So last thing, you can just So in the end, I'd just like to talk about the broad picture once, because on an operational level, this is something that we often tend to ignore. So India is the largest education market in the world. We have nearly 15 crore Indians who are in the target group for higher education. and 65% of the internet users go online to search for content related to education. Education itself is a very big market, but it doesn't make sense quoting these kind of numbers like 61,000 crores. The addressable market is much smaller. So the online marketing spend, which is precisely our market, by colleges is 50 crore per annum, but there's a 200% growth in the last 2 years, and it's expected to become a 150 crore per year market by 2015. And the best thing about this market is that no clear leader has emerged. Google has a very small percentage in terms of, Google ads by colleges when students are searching, and then the big players that we have, supposedly big players like Shiksha.com and Minglebox, have again less than 2% share. So this primarily because the students have not found something that completely meets their needs in terms of having all the data in one place. So that's what we try to do, and we want to be the dominant player in this market and capture the majority of the market. So I think I'll move on to the kind of questions we have. So again, relating more to positioning and how do we exactly position our product. So the first one, of course, we can start with is, what should we focus on as the primary thing when we're saying to colleges, apart from, filling their seats, increasing their brand, but, the one wow factor?
Well, I don't think, apart from filling their seats, if you believe, as you said earlier, that filling their seats is a problem, then that is your primary value proposition. There's no bigger value proposition than actually filling their seats. The question is, how can you really fill their seats? And
right. So, I mean that kind of leads to the second question that, typically, you have very small rates for things like CPC and CPM because they're normally leading to just...
I would not price this as CPC.
I'm sorry, what?
CPM. I would price it in subscription mode.
You would price it in?
As a subscription. So I would make...
Okay, so that is exactly what we thought of. Right, sorry. So what we thought of is exactly this, that, we're going to try to have a 6-month subscription for a particular kind of listing and the analytics and features that go along with it. And the thing is that, in terms of CPC and CPM, the rates are so low that they're in cents that it's hard to justify charging 100x or, 200x of that for the similar kind of clicks or impressions. But again, what we're trying to explain to colleges is that
if you position your value proposition comparable to advertising, then you're going to have to follow the metrics of CPC and CPM. But if you take it as a turnkey project, and this is how you're going to learn the portal as well, by the way, is not just by using the portal in an online online advertising model or search marketing model, but you take it as a hybrid project so that you use some of these online marketing channels, but also you do a turnkey model of actually filling seats. That's how you could then position it as a subscription of some sort, paired with a success fee. You could take a percentage of the seats of the revenue from the seats that you fill.
Right, but then again, that's the next thing that, the point is that not every college has a requirement as simple as just filling seats. So it's, again, a very broad market, and we want to be very focused in terms of who we target. But later on, there are a lot of colleges who are the ones that are the big spenders, and they get enough students, but they're trying to raise the quality of the students. So again, raise awareness, create a brand so that, in future they can get more students or charge more, open more campuses, whatever their aims are. Their main aim is brand building.
You have to decide part of the positioning challenge is which problem are you going to solve. If you rattle out 6 different problems and you say that we solve all of them, you're not going to solve any of them well. You have to pick which problem to solve and accordingly segment your market. If you decide to solve
what would you recommend going after first?
Hold on, let me finish. If you're going to do all the talking, there's no point in you coming here. So if you're going to solve...
Sorry, your voice is actually reaching a little bit late, so sorry.
If you're going to solve the problem of filling seats, then you target the segment of the market that has that problem. If you're going to solve the problem of raising the quality of the students, then you address that segment, and then the pricing has to fit that segment. So I would kind of sell those as different products and pick one of those solutions to go after first, build that business, and then go to the other segments, rather than trying to do all of them at once.
Right. So yeah, I mean, and if you were to target one of them, say we were to go after one first. So depending on the traction, it's low at first, and then your user base keeps increasing. So which one would be more worthwhile targeting with lesser number of more targeted students? I suppose it would be the one that's filling seats, and then later when you have a larger user base that are right.
That's right. That's exactly right. I think because the problem of filling seats is a burning problem. It's a real pain, right? People who have created all this infrastructure and are not able to fill the seats, they have a burning problem. So if you talk to them and tell them that we can fill your seats and you can deliver on that value proposition, they will pay for it.
Right. And so you're saying the pricing again needs to be according to that.
The pricing needs to be according, and you may have different products. One product, and this is over time. I'm not saying it's all going to happen overnight. You begin with the product of filling seats, in which case you sell to the segment that has that problem and you price it accordingly. Then you can have another product which is improving the quality of the students. And then you sell to a different segment with a different pricing model. But I would start with the filling seats product and filling seats pricing model, filling seats target segment.
Right. Right. Okay. And yeah, and the last question that I've just mentioned there is that education decision makers from institutes, unlike most other business groups and consumer groups, are hard to find at one place. So apart from a few conferences where you might have more than one decision maker from different education institutes, or you might have 20 or 30, it's really hard to actually market in bulk to these people using any kind of marketing channel. So any ideas or thoughts for how we...
You're going to have to do telesales. You need the list of institutes and their telephone numbers, and call them and figure out who is the decision maker in charge of admissions and marketing and work with them.
Right, and that is one-on-one, marketing and sales that you're saying. But is there any channel that we could use to reach out to a bulk of them at once? Because 20,000 colleges one by one is a slow process. So.
You have to start with the one by one. So first you generate your reference customers. You can't reach 20,000 colleges and get anywhere anyway. You're going to have to find a set of early adopters early on, so that you can build your reference customers, and then you can do marketing that is going to have any impact. To market to 20,000 customers, you need to place 20 success stories in front of them so that they feel like, okay, I want to call this company.
Right. So testimonials and things like that from the earlier.
But to build your 20 success stories, you're going to need to go, direct.
Okay. So you recommend we start with just approaching colleges one by one, and trying to solve the pain points of as many colleges as we can one by one, year by year, and then expand slowly.
Yeah, I mean, first your goal should be getting 20 success stories, and once you see marketing, when you don't have success stories, and this is a very classic textbook problem. When you do not have success stories, marketing is very complex. And that's the phase you're in. Once you have success stories, the marketing game changes. But until you have success stories, there are certain known techniques of marketing to generate those success stories and reference customers. That's the phase you're in right now. So that's the marketing you're going to have to do right now.
Okay. And once we have these one or two, like you're saying, testimonials or customers who are willing to recommend us to others, then how would we change our focus in marketing? Is there some channel that we could adopt at that point?
Yeah, then you need to, you can take those, you can do direct marketing. If you need to generate the lists, and then you can do direct marketing.
Fair enough. Okay.
Okay. All right. Last presenter.
Thanks a lot.
hang on, and I'll talk more about additional things you can access, additional resources you can access. I need to still discuss. There's one more business, right? Yes, Sanjeev. Sanjeev, if you can unmute your line. Yes.
Hi, this is Sanjeev. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll just start with this. I'll stay on this slide and just introduce. My name is Sanjeev Arora, and I have an information management background and system integration for almost 7-8 years. Tableau is a collaboration tool for structured information assets. We started this product, building this last year, and it lets you gather varied knowledge resources within a small business group or even a larger department in an enterprise, but also with many SaaS users where they are collecting information in office documents, images, audio, video files. We try to gather all that in a structured format with custom metadata. So rather than conforming to an application which gives you, okay, you can do task and you can do project management, we allow these savvy users who are experts in their field but may not be experts in Access and Excel. So we've created a simple tool where you can gather varied information, structure them to your business need, and present them in different formats. So if you are used to looking at a grid and you want to display images, you have a gallery view, or you'll have a list view, or different kind of views for the same information that you're collecting, depending on your audience or depending on your group of individuals that you interact with. And on top of that, we allow sharing the information and collaboration through comments and emailing, and allowing other members to come into your database or tables as a read-only user, so they can interact with your information and use it consume it the way they want to. So we are in the enterprise or small business user content management, but not trying to be everything to everyone. Our target is today's SaaS users, as you said in the last week demo presentation, where all these small apps that everybody's using, it starts to build up. And not every small business likes to use 5 or 6 different apps, and it gets costly after a while. For specialized apps like accounting or invoicing, yes, you may need to use accounting software, but for other purposes, like simple task management or projects for these users, if they only have 10 or 15 clients, they're not going to have to buy a dedicated project management tool, which they're not using all features anyway. So what we're trying to do is fit to their needs, where they can do multiple things. They wear multiple hats in their small businesses, or even as a freelancer, you may be doing 2 or 3 different things. So you can accommodate all that information in one tool, take the control of the information, and manage your business your way, which also helps them reduce all the silos of information and save costs and duplication of information in different systems. Next slide, please. We started this product development last year, and before we started, we had professional relations, and with my background, we did the customer validation with clients who've been using proprietary softwares, desktop softwares, or Access, email, Excel files. So we tried to validate our product before developing that. They needed a simple tool where they can tweak or accommodate information in their own way. And then we started developing it. So far, we've managed to, we are still in pre-beta, so we haven't released the product, but we've managed to get a local government client who's reviewed it, and they have agreed to implement it, depending we can do their data migration. And we've also had few different spaces in engineering and sports association who've seen the product, and they've given us very positive feedback. In terms of acquisition going forward, we hope to focus on a few specialized business areas instead of going every app and every business need out there. So there will be a couple of apps which will be specialized for business users, and others which are for SaaS users. And then when they start adopting these simple apps, then they can go and create their own. Business users are busy, so they don't like to create everything from scratch, so we're going to give them a starting point. Next slide, please. So what we are trying to be pitching going forward is on our website, or when we're releasing, or when we want to get SaaS users sign up, that we're not just another task management app. We are trying to do more than that, and we're trying to do that very simply in a very simplified format. Not having to spend a lot of time out of your business and do data entry, but we want you to be able to manage and stay top of your business by keeping the information in one place. And there are some areas where we know are lack of applications available, like special libraries in engineering and legal. They all use, in bigger organizations, they use large enterprise software, but the knowledge managers or information managers are not happy with the product because they can't change a lot of things to their own needs. And in the smaller space, we have a legal area where lawyers want to manage matters and client resources in one place and share it with other clients, their own clients. We do have competition, and there are large players in the market, like Salesforce. They have their own complex database app, and Zoho has DB Creator, and there are a couple of other players. But the market is growing, and it's pretty huge in terms of there is no simplistic tool out there which can be adopted fast by busy business users. And that's what we're trying to focus. And another way we would be different from bigger players is we are offering this in SaaS model, but also on-premise model with services. So the early adopter that we've got in the commissioning body, they are not allowed to put their information outside of their company, so they will be deploying this on-premise, and that's where we're going so far.
I don't understand what you're doing. So clearly you have customers whom you've been able to bring on board, at least as pilot customers. So explain to me in much more granular, use case oriented detail, what is it that those customers see? So let's go back to the slide of customers. This engineering organization, what data, what is the size of the organization first?
The organizations are typically 25 to 100 employees, and most of them are collecting information on a daily basis. And the information that they're collecting could be a spreadsheet of locations that they're working on, or projects that require some data in terms of resources that they need in that location. There are staff, there are equipment in those locations that they need to manage, and they stay top of it. So for different business verticals, is different information. Many of them are using desktop software to keep databases. So FileMaker and other tools allow you to create databases, so you're keeping information, but you cannot view them in the way that you want to view them. So if you collected 10 or 15 site images where you are doing a project for an engineering, you don't have one tool to view images and also look at the spreadsheet. You have to collect the information in two different tools and view them differently. What we allow you to do is you can capture the number or information or data, but also attach digital assets and view them in different formats. So if you attach images, you'll be able to view them in gallery view, and you can also view the data in a spreadsheet view.
So this is basically some sort of a data repository and a viewer that works across multiple formats, yes?
That's right. So the custom metadata is what the database is. So we allow you to create tables and databases as how you define your information. So if you're a legal library, your information management is different than an engineering library.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So that's the benefit that we are providing, which is also the strength of the application is also the issue, because we are able to do so many things for so many verticals.
Well, Sanjeev,
and that is my question.
Let me ask you a question there. I mean, the workflow of a legal library is something that if you do it for one client, it is very similar for other legal clients. Similarly, if you're doing it for one.
In the library space, yes. When it's a special library, they're not actually lending to public. It's at their internal users. In the library, yes, but it's in other ways when they have other data sources, like they do research. If a researcher is working on an engineering plant or a site, their research management is totally different than a research of a tax foundation. So the tax library will do research, and their metadata or custom information will be different than an engineering researcher.
So what is your assumption in terms of the usage model? Are you selling them this repository and also services then? Because most of these small companies will not have the expertise to do this on their own, right?
That's right. What we are doing for the small businesses is we get them to tell us what varied information they're collecting. We create a template because it's so easy for us to create databases using spreadsheets and CSV files. We import their data. We give them a starting point, and then it's so easy for them to customize it and keep building on top of that and keep going and adding more information to the system.
But your assumption is that there is somebody inside the customer who is in charge of this information management, and that's the person you are training to use your software.
Well, any business user. So whoever the business user adding records will be the user who will be managing their own workspaces. So we have organized tables into workspaces. That's the reason we are able to do this with a few clients right now is because it's so simple. And others have not been able to target that market because it is complex. Everybody thinks database creation is like a programmer's job. So we've made it so simple that anybody can create if they know how to create a spreadsheet and a table in a spreadsheet, they can create this web tool.
Okay, let's go to your questions.
The question is, we started off looking at some verticals, and we are gathering more and more data on which verticals to target first. But what our flexibility of the product is also giving us too many choices. Which is a problem where we need to know what should be the starting point. And we've tried to get that. I
think you should go vertical by vertical. Whether or not you have flexibility of choice, I think you would develop a lot of domain expertise as well as reference clients within verticals, which would help you sell this vertical by vertical as opposed to going completely horizontal and completely all over the place, because the markets are fairly different. So I think, if you want to go after the legal vertical, there are a lot of companies in the size that you're talking about. I would go sell to the legal vertical and really, own the legal vertical, and then you can go sell to the engineering houses and then own the engineering houses, but I would go vertical by vertical.
Okay, so client acquisitions first and then go after the vertical.
Yeah. I think you should go vertical by vertical. You should pretty much assess what are the different sizes of the vertical and based on a bottom-up TAM analysis and figure out which verticals have strong potential and where you're starting to see adoption. So as you do your testing, see what kind of feedback you test these verticals and see which vertical you're getting maximum traction in, and then go build that vertical and then go vertical by vertical.
Great, thank you. We also hear when we see the startup groups and we hear VCs and other entrepreneurs, which try to say, you could be doing too many things for too many people, and that is an issue, and VCs don't like to hear that. Or anybody who is looking to invest in you doesn't like to hear that, okay, your greatest strength is you were able to create multiple repositories or multiple apps, but that's not a good thing.
No, but that's not a bad thing at all. But how you go to market is what your product's capabilities are, and what the long-term vision is has nothing to do, that is not a downside as long as your go-to-market strategy is a precise, focused go-to-market strategies. And experienced VCs knows that very well. They are very aware of what is the difference between the scope of a product or a long-term vision of a company versus a go-to-market strategy.
Okay, great. Thank you. We're a few months away from the SaaS users, but we are ready for the dedicated implementations, and we're getting traction. So is that a good approach that we focus on our dedicated implementations first and do the SaaS later, or should we be doing both at the same time?
What does dedicated implementation means? On-premise implementation? On-premise license?
On-premise or even dedicated hosted. So it's like a per customer installation.
See, my take on it right now, given the stage you're in, is to take whatever business you're getting, start monetizing and start validating and start generating reference customers. Okay. And that will finance your SaaS development and company building. Okay. If you're getting traction, take traction.
Okay. We also seeing, because we're getting the traction, we also feel that in some areas we are held back because of the financial resources. It's been self-funded so far, and we feel if we get marketing funds and if we get a bit more awareness in the market, we'll get better traction. And we don't know when is the right time to approach a VC.
You're not quite ready for VCs. You could go to angel investment if you want to raise money, but I don't think you'll get VC financing right now.
Okay. That's great. Thank you for your feedback. Appreciate it.
You're welcome. All right. So folks, we have a poll open on our Facebook page, 1M by 1M, and all 5 presenters that you've heard from today are listed there. So if you could please go there and vote for your favorite company, and presenters, feel free to also get your network, your friends, your peers, your colleagues to come and vote on the Facebook page to help you win this poll, and we'll announce the results in the next few days on my blog. And while you do that, I'd also like to talk to you about the 1 million by 1 million program, and to a lot of you I've said we need to take this conversation online, or we can do blah 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 for you. Let me actually elaborate on what really we can do for you through the 1 million by 1 million program. So in terms of resources, the absolute base level resource that we bring together for you is the Entrepreneur Journeys book series and the blog series. So the book series is available on Amazon, Kindle, and for Indian readers on Flipkart. It's 4 books in the series: Entrepreneur Journeys Volume 1, Bootstrapping, Weapon of Mass Reconstruction, Positioning, How to Test, Validate, and Bring Your Idea to Market, and Innovation Need of the Hour. And the 1 million by 1 million program focuses very heavily on how to craft a business block by block, and bootstrapping and laser sharp positioning are 2 cornerstone ideas in the program. So I definitely want you to follow those 2 methodology items, and the whole 1 million by 1 million program kind of uses that as one of the key underpinnings. Now, Vision India 2020 is another resource that is slightly, I'm just talking about it because it's part of the book series that I've done. For Indian entrepreneurs looking for business ideas, the Vision India 2020 book is a great repository of $45 billion business ideas, and it's written as business fiction. Now the blog is sramanamitra.com. There's an enormous number of case studies on the blog available for free. However, it is not curated. So if you're looking for a curriculum that is going to very rapidly take you through all the things that you need to learn, you're going to have to look at the premium program to access that. The other piece of the free offering are these roundtables. We are offering these roundtables every Thursday, so you can come and discuss with me your ideas and your strategies and your questions. And these strategies happen pretty much every week, these roundtables. Now, if you're really trying to get deeper into the program and have me work with you in a more comprehensive basis and follow the methodology and the curriculum, join the premium program, which is $1,000 in annual membership fee. This consists of a video lectures and case study based curriculum that teaches you the 1 million by 1 million methodology of capital efficient entrepreneurship. It also helps you do a lot of business development. We connect you to customers, to people you can validate with, people you can sell to, and channel partners, people you can go to market through. We have private roundtables where I offer you strategy consulting, lots of email contact and so forth. And if you're ready for it, we'll help you with financing as well. So that's the, that's a premium program. There's a lot of also PR, media relations, analyst relations, and so on and so forth. So if you look at the people who are actually working as part of the premium program, you can talk to some of them. In fact, in a couple of weeks, we're going to do a session with 1 million by 1 million premium customers. But it's an enormous amount of value at a very, very low price point. One of our premium members, Dan Stewart, I'm not sure if Dan is in the room today, he was telling me that he joined this CEO group, CEO mentoring group called Vistage, which charges $1,000 a month. And he gets a lot more value paying $1,000 in annual membership fee to 1 million by 1 million premium than he ever did using the Vistage program. So there is a very serious amount of value that we are offering at a very affordable price point. Take advantage of it. Whatever resources you have available to you today, based on your own funds, your friends and family funds, or even angel investor funds, make sure that you use that efficiently. And the whole 1 million by 1 million methodology is about extremely capital efficient entrepreneurship. The URL is 1m1m.sramanamitra.com. So just to recap, we have a curriculum, we have free public roundtables, we have private roundtables as part of the premium program. There is a page that elaborates on what to expect from the premium program. If you go to the top right corner, in the black bar on top, you can access that what to expect from the premium program, as well as the FAQs. And if you have further questions, you can contact me by email. The email address is available on the web page as well. To give you an idea about the curriculum itself, there's a core curriculum and then there are elective modules. The core curriculum deals with bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing. Many of you I talked to today do not understand how to size markets. And you do need to understand how to size markets, especially if you have any desire to raise money at any point of time. You really need to understand market sizing. Market sizing involves pricing. Market sizing involves bottom-up analysis, not top-down analysis is not enough, and most of you are presenting top-down analysis, and that's just not sufficient. Customer validation, we teach very comprehensive methodology. Financing will teach you all the nuances of financing, all the various different kinds of financing, what are your options, what are the valuation nuances, and so on and so forth, things that you do need to learn if you want to be financeable. Customer acquisition is one of the most important aspects that we focus immensely on, and that's direct, indirect. We have all sorts of modes of customer acquisition that we deal with very extensively, and then team building aspects. On the elective, we have modules that align with the trends of our industry today. So we see a lot of web businesses. Web 3.0 and e-commerce is one of the elective modules. Cloud computing and business solutions is another elective module. Outsourcing and consulting is an elective module. Mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, online education, gaming. These are all modules that align with the trends of our industry, and you will find video lectures and case studies on each of those modules. We also have, in each of those modules, you also have discussion areas where you can ask questions specific to those topics. You also have a discussion forum where you can open up new topics that are not covered in the curriculum. Incubation Radar is one of our, go click on the Incubation Radar button, you'll get a full comprehensive understanding of the kind of PR and analyst relations we do for you, as well as introducing you using those elements of PR and analyst relations to the different kinds of people that you can sell to, market to, partner with, or raise money from. And if you are ready, we're going to do investor introductions, and we will get you ready if it makes sense. And then, of course, we do a lot of business development through customer and partner introduction. remember one thing, even though in the curriculum, all the video lectures are almost all the video lectures, not all, but almost all the video lectures are my lectures. They are a synthesis of the lessons taught to you by somewhere between 300 to 400 successful entrepreneurs. I have personally sat down with somewhere in the 300 to 400 range of thought leaders, entrepreneurs, key players in respective industries. And I've captured their insights, their success strategies, their advice to you. And the video lectures synthesize that. The entire 1 million by 1 million program is a synthesis of a methodology that takes all these advice from 300-400, really high-powered people and brings it to you so that you can stand on their shoulders and be successful more efficiently. So if you invest the time and energy to understand what these people are telling you, you are going to be far better equipped and far better prepared to be successful in entrepreneurship. So please take advantage of this curriculum. Now, we do have relationships a lot with channel partners, different kinds of channel partners. Here's an example of a deal we have with Persistent Systems, and we have 2 premium members, 2 companies, Orenscape and Crowd Engineering, who are going to market through our relationship with Persistent Systems in North America. And Persistent has a very nice channel in North America into the large enterprises. And just yesterday, actually on Monday, I spoke with the CIO of Intel and Orenscape, and the CIO of Intel basically told me some of the problems she has, and I immediately introduced Orenscape to her because Orenscape potentially has a solution to the challenge that she has. We connect a lot of dots like this, and Persistent is managing that sales process. So there are channel partner relationships, there are customer relationships that I'm connecting the dots on continuously. And again, take advantage of those kinds of things. To several of you today, of several of the presenters, I've said that I will introduce you to such and such. Please, all the introductions are going to be available only to premium members. I cannot work on your behalf unless you become a premium member. So if you want to work with me beyond the free roundtables, you need to sign up and become a premium member. This is a story based on my weekly recap column. I write a lot, and I have a lot of stature as an analyst and as a journalist writer. So I have a lot of syndicated columns, a lot of different publications syndicate my writings, so I can get you a lot of publicity if you do the right things in getting your positioning, and then I'll work with you to get your positioning right. So this is the whole outreach through media is something that we also bring to the table in the premium program. This you cannot read. I'm just going to tell you what it is. This is a message. One of the entrepreneurs who pitched at a free roundtable recently wrote to me on Facebook after the roundtable, and he was telling me that I'm so glad to find 1 million by 1 million. I wish I had access to something like this in 2007, 2008, when I had raised money. And this company had raised a substantial amount of money. They raised about $250,000 in angel money, 100 lakhs in Indian currency. This is an Indian company, and because it didn't follow the right methodology of how to do validation and how to do a proper go-to-market strategy, something that we constantly harp on and constantly focus you on in 1 million by 1 million, they ran out of money. So all that money that he had raised has pretty much been wasted, and he was telling me how he wishes he had access to 1 million by 1 million. So folks, please, if you have access to resources, I'm sure resources are precious, resources are, limited, resources are finite. Do not run out of these resources by doing the wrong thing in the wrong sequence. Now, we do work with a lot of incubators, and I suppose there actually potentially are some of the incubators that we are talking to in the room today. MAD Incubator in Malaysia is one of our partners. Indian Angel Network Incubator is also one of our partners in India. We basically offer supplemental programming to these incubators, and we are working with a number of incubators to make their offering more powerful by adding 1 million by 1 million premium to their resources. So 1 million by 1 million is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue, and we do that through education, business development, capital access, public relations, and strategy consulting, mentoring, coaching, all of these various parameters. So if you have questions, I'm opening up my public chat right now. So feel free to put your questions in the public chat, and I will answer as many of them as you would like to discuss with me. And by the way, folks, if you want to blow up the public chat as your main screen, click on video and get rid of the video, or click on slides and get rid of the slides, and the group chat is going to blow up on the screen, so you'll have an easier time working with the group chat. How long is the program? If a complete dedication from your side. The program is ongoing. You can do it for a year, you can do it for 5 years, because we remember if you look at the slide on your screen, to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond. So I can continue adding value to your process. I have the experience of working with very small companies all the way to very large companies like $10 billion SAP or $45 billion Best Buy. But in terms of the curriculum, I would like you to budget about 50-60 hours to fully internalize the curriculum. You can do that in a concentrated period, or you can do it over 3 months, 4 months, whatever is comfortable for you. But there is a tremendous amount of very, very important core material in the curriculum that I would like you to be on top of, so that you operate as a sophisticated entrepreneur and not make basic mistakes. Rahul, I'm fully interested in 1M plan. I think from branding as well as mentoring perspective, this is it. My email is rahul@businessintelligence.com. Please, you can sign up online. Just go to the 1m1m.sramanamitra.com page. You can very easily sign up and get going. The moment you sign up, you're going to be brought into the program, and we have our next private roundtable next Wednesday. So you can start joining the private roundtable and start getting going. So I'll be delighted to work with you, Rahul. Anybody else? Any other questions? Do you have a listing of connected incubators on the site? No, we don't have a listing of connected incubators on the site. We have right now, in terms of signed deals, we have 2 incubators, the MAD incubator in Malaysia, a second incubator called Indian Angel Network Incubator in India. We also have a relationship with TAI Chennai. Those are the 3, and then there are 2 others that we are in the process of working with. In fact, Bill, I think it's Bill Gordon, who's on the group chat. I don't know if he's still in the room in Stamford, Connecticut. He is working with us on building a relationship with the program. Then we have another one in Pune, in Q Capital, that we are working with to develop a program for them. So ask me why do you need a list of connected incubators? What are you looking for? So John, elaborate on your question. What is it that you're specifically looking for? Anybody else with any questions, please Yes, John, feel free to talk to your local incubator about joining. What geography are you in? Where are you dialing in from? Chicago, awesome. Fantastic. Please do, and we'll be delighted to work with you to bring those pieces together so that we can work with your local incubator. You're very welcome. Anybody else? Any other question? No? Yes? Rahul, what is your question? You seem to have an @SM there. I'm listening, assuming that SM is Sramana Mitra. Okay. Looks like Rahul, you're writing a lot.
I guess I break the rules, but I'm actually writing something which I'm not able to phrase out. My question is, if you allow me,
Yeah?
that from a percentage perspective, it's easy to say yes, I join a program. Generally, I don't do that, but I guess I was pretty much ready well before I got to know about your program. I mean, as soon as I got to know about your program. But what do you think generally is the percentage of the people that really commit themselves around the 1M by 1M? And what is your expectation? So out of the 1 million people that tomorrow would sign up, doesn't mean all 1 million would always be there, you know. So what's the kind of general trend you have realized that entrepreneurs really spend time in understanding and really working hard to make this thing work? That's the question.
So right now, I would say about 95% of the people we have in the program are actually using the program. But there is a 5% that is kind of, frankly, I don't know how serious they are, or are they actually working on ventures? What are they doing? Because I don't really hear enough feedback from them. So I would in fact go so far as to say, if you don't invest the energy on the program and take and use the resources, don't bother joining the program. You would be wasting your money. Because I have no way of helping you or impacting your business unless you actually come and work with me and use the resources of the program. And I don't think, if you're an entrepreneur who needs to be, somebody needs to sit over your head and kind of tell you what to do and constantly draw you out. This, in my opinion, is not the right work ethic for an entrepreneur. I think the chances of success for an entrepreneur is not going to be very high. But you can check this with people like Dan, as well as I don't know if Bill is still in the line, but there are people in the room who can tell you that if you actually use the program, both yourself in the offline mode where you're going to have homework to do and you're going to use the self-learning tools and so forth, and you connect with me sufficiently, you'll get a tremendous amount out of the program. But it's like a gym membership, right? If you have a gym membership, you don't use the gym membership, there's nothing that the gym can do about your losing weight.
Well, thank you. I guess I will just finish it up with saying that the percentage of people, when I asked you, it was really that if it is 95%, and I agree, and I really trust that it's 95% with you, that with 95% people participating in the learning process, it really means that anybody who is going to be a part of that will actually learn 1,000%, because even if his participation, I guess, I'm sorry, but he'll actually learn 10,000%, because if his participation is 100%, then he gets to see the 100% people around talking about 100 things, and thus there is a lot of conceptual validation that one can do with the concept, as well as the business of the clients in going forward.
Yes, and you get the network effect. You get the network effect of that, exactly, because like right now, we have two premium members, Dan and Tariq, who are talking about, Tariq has a technology which Dan might be using in selling. It's a selling tool. It's a social media selling tool, and Dan might be using Tariq's technology to sell. So there's a network effect of the program that is going to give you lots of business development within the program as well.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I appreciate. I will actually go onto your website if I have any questions. Shall I contact you on email?
Just send me email first, but please do me a favor and first read what's on the site. It will make my job a lot easier. You have the what to expect from the 1 million by 1 million premium page. You have the FAQ page. Go through those before you send me email questions. But if you have questions beyond that, please feel free to send me email questions. No problem.
No problem. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Anybody else? I think Dan summarizes it very well. Curriculum first. If you take the time to really digest the curriculum and get on at a certain level of understanding and certain level of knowledge, and then you come and work with me, on a regular basis, your communication with me is going to become a much higher bandwidth communication, because you already have certain basic knowledge and that the community is ongoing. It's a very nice summarization, actually. We accept Visa and MasterCard, and we are actually in the process of putting together American Express. So as long as your Indian credit cards are, other than those, we don't accept anything else. So if you have an Indian Visa or a MasterCard that's allowed to be used outside of the country, absolutely, you're perfectly fine. We have lots of Indian entrepreneurs who are signing up. So I presume that the Indian credit cards can be, the Indian MasterCard or Visa or American Express can be used for foreign purchase as well. Dollar purchase, I suppose. No, we do not have PayPal. I'm not sure if you do have a problem with using credit cards abroad, because I have so many Indian customers right now. I don't see them having any problems, so I don't think the RBI rules are as problematic anymore. There you go. Ruchika is saying you can use credit cards on foreign purchases. In general, one request I'll make to all of you is don't come to me after you've run out of all your resources. Start following, when you have some resources, start following the program and doing the right things as soon as possible, instead of futzing around and doing some things out of sequence and running out of resources. I really don't want you to run out of resources and run out of cash. Okay, anybody else? Looks like we're done with questions for today, and I'll see you next week. Let's see, let's kind of quickly go through the next few roundtables. May 12th, 19th, and 26th are the next 3 roundtables. Please feel free to not only come yourself, but bring your friends. We want you to help us spread the word, just like, we are helping you here for free. Please help us promote the program, and like, John is asking about connecting this to the local incubator. Please take the program to your local incubator and connect the dots and bring new people into the program. I'd also like to thank our various partners, whether it's media partners like Read Write Web, Youth Ki Awaaz, and Your Story, Microsoft BizSpark, TIE, various chapters of TIE from Chennai, Mumbai, Chicago. We have worked with many of them. AMITA is the Association of MIT Alumni, the MIT Club of Northern California, Persistent Systems, MAD Incubator, Indian Angel Network, InQ Capital, and VView, who's our technology partner for hosting these roundtables. By the way, if you like this technology, this video conferencing platform, you're free to use it. VView is giving 1 year free access to the VView technology to all 1 million by 1 million community members. So feel free to use VView. I love VView personally, and we build the entire program on top of the VView platform. So that's it for today, guys. I will see you next week, and meanwhile, I hope some of you are going to join the premium program so that we can start working on your issues at a deeper level. Take care. Bye-bye.